Hello, everybody. On behalf of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, I want to thank you for your leadership of 4-H and FFA. FFA and 4-H each have a long history of giving our young people the tools they need to achieve big things. And today, your work is more important than ever before. Even in the face of an historic drought, one that I know is impacting many of you, your families, and your friends, American agriculture is helping drive our economy forward. Ranchers and farmers are innovating, using the latest science and making the smart business decisions that help us keep agriculture strong. Today, you're helping to carry out the tradition of innovation. You're helping to train America's next generation of conservation stewards. You're helping to ensure that America can feed the world in the generations to come. And perhaps most importantly of all, you're getting young people from all walks of life, from our smallest towns to our biggest cities, engaged in the business of agriculture. At USDA, we're taking more steps than ever to help. We've strengthened cooperative extension programs through USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. We implemented the Beginning Farmer and Rancher Development Program, which has provided grants to train tens of thousands of new producers. And we've expanded marketing opportunities for farmers and ranchers of all sizes through the Know Your Farmer, Know Your Food effort. In partnership with FFA and the Department of Education, USDA has made new efforts to protect and advance important agricultural education programs while expanding distance learning programs across rural America. And today, we work closely with both FFA and 4-H to ensure that the work on the farm is safe for our young people, while also enabling children to continue learning the values of hard work, which stand at the heart of our rural values. Meanwhile, we've carried out record accomplishments to help rural America thrive: record farm and rural housing loans, record efforts for rural broadband and community facilities, record support for rural businesses, and record investments in the growing bio-based economy. But the fact is, we can't do it without you. With your help, we'll continue to drive the rural economy forward, creating and saving more good-paying American jobs. And together, we'll further the cause of rural values that stand again at the heart of our American values. So again, thank you for your service and congratulations on being selected as a White House Champion of Change. Please enjoy today's events and never hesitate to reach out to USDA staff to help you in your next endeavors.
You put your head, hands, heart, and health into your work. You represent the future of American agriculture and the future of this nation. We're so excited that you are here as Champions of Change this morning. As I mentioned, college. Our second moderator for this morning is John White. John is someone who we work with actually on the White House Rural Council established by President Obama. He's the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Rural Outreach at the Department of Education, where he works to implement education reform and innovation in rural America. John White is responsible for leading the Department of Education's outreach to schools and colleges throughout rural America. He is a graduate of the University of Maryland, so just a warm welcome for the two of them here. We're really happy that they can be our moderators for this morning, and again, they're going to introduce our first panelists for our Champions event.
Great. Well, thank you, Doug, and good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. It's always so exciting to go to the White House, and particularly on a day like today when we're honoring individuals who have already made really substantial contributions to their communities. I am a true believer in the power of individuals and that having a vision of how you can contribute in your community and in your country, or even globally, is a great gift and vision to have. And acting on that vision, the way that this group of young people that are here today have done, really gives inspiration for all of us. So we're just delighted to be able to recognize some champions for change. And let me ask my colleague if you'd like to make some opening comments, and then we'll introduce our champions of change.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Witecki. Let me just begin by expressing the support that Secretary of Education Arne Duncan has for your programs. He works very closely with Secretary Vilsack to strengthen education, but also agriculture education across the country. Our two departments actually are working together on that specific agenda as we speak, and we're actually working across agencies to do so. But I can tell you from my experience being with Secretary Duncan when he has met with FFA and 4-H members, he's attended your national conferences, that he comes back not just energized from your enthusiasm, but he comes back with new knowledge and things for us to do. So we appreciate your teaching us when we have a chance to work with you. And we're here today to hold you up as examples and hold you up for other people to learn from and to emulate. So thank you for letting us join you today.
Great. I'd like to ask Jacob Dickey, Caden Ency, and Chamonix Mejia to come up and join us here at the front table.
And I'd like to ask Ridge Howell, Jordan Payne, and Natia Patel to join us. So I'd like to introduce to you Ridge Powell. He is a Native American citizen of the Creek Nation who not only combines his time working with the tribe but also supports the elderly in his community and has been very entrepreneurial in his service projects as well to his community. And I'd like to let him explain to you some of the work that he's been doing.
Hello everyone, my name is Ridge Howell. I'm a senior in my hometown of Checotah, Oklahoma, and I'm also my local FFA chapter president and student body head. Everything I work towards in my community deals with leadership training and trying to make myself a better and more service-oriented person while hopefully helping others become the same. There's two distinct groups that I work with, my fellow FFA members and the senior citizens in my town. And farther than that, I have, I guess, kind of a partial group. I love working with the seniors. I feel like I can learn most from those who have already experienced so much themselves, and hopefully by hanging around them and helping them, I can gather something that might help me in my later life. There's two primary programs that I've helped develop and run. The first one is a senior citizens lawn mowing program. What we do on this, it's active during the summer. It has been for about 3 summers. And every week we go to the senior citizens center, myself and a few of my FFA members, and we draw 2 names. And that week we'll go and mow the lawns of those people and help them just with whatever they need, because there's usually many household chores that they need just to help out with. This past summer we've had many deaths of spouses, and it's brought on a whole lot more lawns for us to mow, but at the same time it's helped bridge a gap between the FFA members and the seniors in my town. I feel like it's really helped me, and I know my fellow members, just become a better person. Whenever somebody else is in pain, you can often do a whole lot to help them with something simple, just like mowing the lawn. I've done a lot of lawn mowing, I will say that. The second program has been in production for about 7 months. It's a community garden. It was actually from a Food for All grant that we got from National FFA. To date, we've picked 1,700 pounds of produce, which is, I think, outstanding. It's a good solid 50 of my FFA members and my ag teachers have helped grow it. It's still in production, and what we do is take it down to the Senior Citizen Center where it's distributed among the seniors. And yes, they get really violent over it. It surprises me, but those squash are really important. And it's actually really key in my town, in the whole area that I'm from. I'm centered in beef production. There's not a whole lot of production agriculture. This was a way to introduce production agriculture at ground zero. Hopefully through this we can take Oklahoma to a better, bigger, more production agriculture state. Even though beef production is really important, I think it'll just help diversify the state in general. Agriculture is close to my heart. I've been really active in it, several generations, and that's all put together why I love the FFA so much. It gives everybody a chance to change. Change is what we need. If without change, we would just be a still country. Through change, through positive change, we can stay ahead. We can help other nations. And I think the FFA is the best way to do that, and it's a passion of mine. I really love it. Thank you.
Good. Ridge, you're nodding. You agree?
I kind of look at it from a different perspective. The best way from my point of view to go into it is it's not science. There's so many kids that are discouraged by school because they aren't visual and they aren't auditory. They don't learn by seeing something or hearing something. They need to touch something. And what I'm thinking of is plant and soil science. In my hometown, we have a greenhouse. Science is every part of that greenhouse. Without science, the greenhouse does not exist. Through the greenhouse, we can take our classes, we can go out, they can touch, they can see how things grow. It's a hands-on job, and so many kids, it's been a big issue in my school, need something that they can touch to learn about it. And it provides the perfect scenario for so many kids to learn, and they're learning science in a practical level. They'll be able to go outside of school and use this. And so I think the way to approach it is not science, it's everyday, it's something that you could use every day.
Good. Anybody else have anything you want to jump in on, or should we move to a new question?
Kind of with what Ridge was saying, I think that we can categorize 4-H and FFA into a career and technical education, kind of the overall thing. And I think what career and technical education has over your traditional subjects such as math and science is that it's that application towards using your basic education and applying it to different things in life. I didn't learn in ag business, or I didn't learn in math class how to do accounting and things like that for my farm management or things like that. I learned the basics of math, but I was able to take that knowledge and apply it into that. And it's just taking that basic application and going the next step with it and finding ways that students can, they get that light bulb above their head there, and they're able to realize how they can apply it to their everyday lives.
Yeah.
So Jacob brought up a great point about career and technical education. At the department, we're trying to raise standards in career and technical education across the country. And one of the things that we continually hear is this perception issue. So how do we get more students involved instead of them feeling as though CTE is for those kids, or maybe FFA or 4-H is not for me, it's for those students. So I'd like to hear more from the students involved about how you go about trying to expand your membership. What works for you in your schools? How does it, not just with students, but how do you work with adults in your schools, and what do you tell them about the perception issue and the positive, how we turn that into a positive?
Well, fun activities are always a good way to bring people in. That's something that, it's like an eye catcher. If a group's doing something fun, you want to go and be a part of it. So that is definitely one way that my chapter uses to bring people in. But kind of bouncing off our first question, you can take these career and technical educations and apply them to life. I know in math, Pythagorean theorem is something huge. It's on the ACT, it's on the SAT. It's a crucial part in learning. This past 2 months, we've been building a 25-foot-long tilt bed hay trailer in our shop class. You have to use Pythagorean theorem to make sure all the angles are correct. Without Pythagorean theorem, the trailer might be crooked, the axle might not be corrected right. So it's a way for kids to learn and then go back and help them in school, because that's something so crucial that you use, and we can use it every day. And another reason kids are so frustrated is because they don't think that they can take these things that they're learning in math or science or English and apply them to everyday life, but there's so many ways they can, they just don't know. And I think that's a great way to bring kids in, is it's just going to help them in a fun way.
I think specifically, like, for membership, gaining membership, is you have to know the individual that wants to be involved or could be involved if they only knew what was there. You have to identify a contest or an area of agriculture that they might not even think is part of agriculture, find an FFA area for them and tell them about it, and then they want to do something that they already like to do when they're starting a new project, and finding something that connects with things they already know in a contest type situation just broadens their aspect of that specific thing. And then they can develop further out into agriculture. And once they are in FFA, it's kind of hard to get out. You fall in love with all the contests and you keep trying more and more contests, and that's how you develop the perception of agriculture through the students. But then as faculty, I think just having members go in and talk to the administration and faculty, let them know what's going on, the opportunities we're getting, they'll become much more supportive. At least that's how it's been working in my school, because I rarely go to school, and it's kind of hard to explain to faculty why I'm always gone for FFA or 4-H. But then when they hear about the opportunities, they become much easier to deal with, and their perception increases of the two organizations.
I think that one of the biggest barriers that we see in career and technical education is the enormous emphasis on college prep and the minimalization of the career technical education. We've been told so many times in high school and when we sign up for classes that we need to get our English classes and our math classes and our science classes, and those have benefits. I'm not pushing those down at all, but when you can apply those into classes and find what students' niches are in their education and what they love to do, and they can take that through the rest of their life, I think that's the benefit there. And just working with that push there, the students, for instance, for the requirements for graduation in my high school, they've been raising them ever so often, and that's been preventing students from having opportunities to get involved in organizations such as the FFA or the Home Ec Club or even Art Club, things that they love to do because they're required to take their 4 years of English and they're required their 4 years of math. And I think that's just personally the biggest barrier that we face.
Young people, we wish you much success in everything that you take on, and I have confidence that we're over this next 40 years when we're facing these huge challenges in agriculture here in the U.S., that we're going to have some real leaders helping us through it. So congratulations to all of you.